How corrupt and illegal was the trial of Jesus Christ? Well, the Sanhedrin broke over 30 Hebrew laws and proceedings when it came to the trial of Jesus Christ. They went way out of their way to go behind the law, break the law, and illegally crucify the Savior of the world. To get an idea of how bad this trial was, I'm going to rapid fire through the list of some of the laws and proceedings that the Hebrews and Sanhedrin broke when trying Jesus Christ. Alright, here we go. Jesus was questioned that night. Hebrew law stated that proceedings were to be held during the day and no process was allowed to begin at night. Another one, Jesus was taken to the palace of Annas. Proceedings were to be held only in the chamber of hewn stones according to Hebrew law, in the temple, but they took him to the palace of Annas. Jesus was not questioned before a quorum. Hebrew law stated that at least 23 members of the great Sanhedrin were required to form a quorum that would try a case. Jesus was questioned on the day of a Passover feast and on the eve of a Jewish Sabbath. No proceedings could be held on Sabbaths or feast days or on the eves of either one. The indictment of Jesus was originated by the Sanhedrin. According to Hebrew law, Sanhedrin members could not originate charges, nor could they witness against the accused. Jesus was taken before a prejudiced judge. Hebrew law states that prejudiced judges could not participate in the trial, and Annas was prejudiced because he sold sacrificial animals within the temple, and Jesus was against that. And then again he was taken to the palace of Caiaphas afterwards, again, not the chamber of hewn stones in the temple like the law states. Another one is that absolutely no defense was offered during this trial of Christ, although numerous points could have been made by Jesus Christ. Another one is that the high priest rent his clothes. Hebrew law stated that no renting of clothes was allowed during trials. The renting of clothes was almost a definitive statement that he was guilty. Another one is that the balloting was irregular. They were supposed to vote from junior to senior, but they didn't vote. It was kind of just a unanimous verdict. Another one is Jesus was convicted with a unanimous verdict of guilty. A unanimous verdict, according to Hebrew law, had the same effect as an acquittal. That means that Jesus would have and should have been set free. Another one, both of the Hebrew trials of Christ took place within one day. If a death sentence were pronounced, a second trial was to be held the following day, and there was no time for the members of the Sanhedrin to fast before this trial, which is also Hebrew law, that if 2 trials were needed, the judges were required to fast and pray between them. And there's many more laws that they broke that I can't cover in this video. It's so sad and disgusting how corrupt and unfair and illegal this trial was. I mean, the Sanhedrin went out of their way and into the dark with Christ to illegally try and crucify their own Messiah. But if you want to learn way more about this and go even deeper in the study, check out this book called The Illegal Trial of Christ by Stephen W. Allen. It's absolutely amazing and I highly recommend it.